Jim was stranded out in the Nevada desert, alone on a starry night, when he saw a mysterious green light glowing in the distance. Now, lean back, get yourself comfortable, and let's find out what happened next. You won't be surprised when I tell you that Jim immediately got into his car and drove to the light. But after a mile, he realized that wasn't a very good idea, as the road was getting too bumpy for his lovely little red car to make it. Everything went exactly according to plan, if there was an actual plan in Jim's head, right until the moment he nearly crashed into a huge boulder levitating in the air. Yeah, you heard me right. Small rocks and then larger ones were being shaken loose from the earth and floating up into the sky with a low rumbling. Jim said it was just as if a huge vacuum cleaner was sucking them up. I bet you can see what he was talking about. For a moment, it seemed that the whole place would evaporate, leaving a huge crater behind. And the signpost that Jim saw by the roadside was a nice compliment to the craziness of the moment. What would you do in a situation like this, Turn around, pedal to the metal, and drive away from there as quickly as possible? And what did Jim do? On all fours, he crawled up to the fence separating the road from the farmland to get a better view. Well, we have to agree that that was the moment when the reckless Jim took over. Later, when I asked him why anyone in their sane mind would do that, he said that he simply couldn't resist an adventure. So he quietly climbed over this fence, only to immediately stumble over a rock. In that moment, Jim was sure that the entire Nevada state heard him rustling and swearing in the fir trees as he tried to get up. And those twisting roots piercing the ground like tendrils did not make it easier for Jim at all. He just kept tripping over them. Unbelievably, but these somersaults did go unnoticed, and Jim managed to hide himself between two fir trees. His eyes quickly adjusted to the starlight, and he could make out a few shrubs scattered on the ground. He also spotted some delicate little blooms here and there. Isn't it funny that in a crazy situation like that, hiding in the fir trees, Jim found a moment to enjoy the beauty of nature? When I heard it for the first time, I was like, really? Purple petals, Jim? Are you serious, man? So, anyway, there he was, standing in awe and wonder, watching the crazy things unfold on the grassland in front of him. Two cows that had been peacefully grazing the fresh emerald green grass a second ago were now staring up into the sky, bewildered and hypnotized, while the third cow was floating up in the air, mooing and turning and looking, well, it's hard to read a cow's expression, but as Jim said, it was panic-stricken. Can you believe that? And the leaves were swirling up in the funnel around the poor levitating animal, as if in the center of a cyclone. The eerie silence of the place was only broken by the hollow rumble from above and by the cow's bells rattling so hard it sounded like a fire alarm. Shielding his eyes, Jim squinted up into the sky, where a large saucer shape blotted out part of the blanket of stars. A real saucer. Now, it's hard to explain what Jim was thinking of at that moment. For years, he believed that we were not alone in the universe, and that one day another civilization would visit us to bring advanced technology. But surely not to steal our cows. Why on earth would they need cows in the first place? Was it some kind of intergalactic joke on the poor farmer to get on the front page of the Nevada Times? At least they left the farmer his straw hat and spade. But we still don't have an answer to the main question yet. Did Jim see them? What were they like? Well, Jim told me that for a second, the saucer tilted under the weight of the cow, revealing a few side lights on the top of its surface. Gazing up, dumbstruck, he could see a dim green light emanating from the cockpit of the spacecraft. Well, at least that's what he assumed it was. And for just a second, yes, just for 1 second, he could clearly make out the shape of their bodies, working behind the control panel of the saucer. Yes, and just like that, they dropped it, wobbled a little, and flew away. The green glow of their flying saucer fading into the night. Jim said that he stood there for a while, staring at the night sky as bewildered as his bovine buddies, until he started laughing out loud because those cheeky aliens took the farmer's hat. I know, if I were you, I would never believe a story like that. But hey, strange things happen. We all know that. I just really feel sorry for that old man. He must have loved that hat. I bet all the excitement has tired you right out. Let me wish you sweet dreams of flying cows and intergalactic journeys.